Hello and welcome back. This is still tea time on PlusTvAfrica. I hope you guys enjoyed that music break as much as we did. Yeah, let's just move on really quickly. Yep. Because if has been slandering Davido in this in the background, and
I wasn't slandering Davido. I was slandering the music video.
Ever, including that as well. So let's not even fight this lovely Wednesday. It's Wednesday.
Real fast tweak, right? Really fast.
Popular Nigerian singer Chidinma Ekile, that's what I said, has said that she regrets wasting her time doing secular music. The music star said this in a recent interview. It was earlier reported that the 30-year-old singer officially announced her full switch to gospel music on Saturday, May 1st of 2021. In her words, "I'm moving with time. There is no time. The enemy has been winning for too long. I have had my fair share of influence and all of that, but now I am using all of that, everything the enemy thought he had given to me, though he was given to me by God. While he was lying that he gave them to me, now I'm using all that work for my Father." Hallelujah.
Good for you.
Auntie, go and sit down.
It's not about going to sit down.
I beg.
It's a personal thing.
It's
absolutely none of my business. It's your business. It's your relationship with God. It's how you felt about what you were doing and how you feel like you have not.
Yeah.
See, do you know one of us can leave this table one day and say, "I've been discussing secular things for a while, and I want to be discussing the word of the Lord
on the table.
I want to use my platform to preach the gospel and evangelism." There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. When you go out here tomorrow and do that, I will support you.
What you just said now, there's absolutely no wrong with that either. But her tone was for me a bit off, in my opinion.
No, I didn't say anything off. I'm just saying good for you.
You said your own, let me say my own. Because I'm sure if you've watched me before on the show, you know that can never be my response to such a thing. First things first, you can always move for whatever secular music or from whatever genre you want and how you want to express yourself, blah, blah, blah. The thing I even start with is music and gospel music and secular music does not even make sense, that kind of comparison, because it's still music. You can say, and even gospel music is very, very deep, and like you can have like rock gospel, you can have like, you know, it's like people who sing love music, love songs now say, oh, there's love songs and then there's secular music. Like, you're still doing music, but anyway, that's just me being very difficult now and like extra picky.
You know.
But it's still facts, to be honest. But moving on from that, this lady is nice that she's found faith. It's very beautiful. I think people should live their truth and whatever makes you feel comfortable. But you, in my opinion, the way she said it was a bit bashing to the other people in secular music. If I let me talk now,
it's not fight now.
Like, I don't allow me to talk.
I think like you also stole me with the
Do you want to talk for me or?
Yeah, speak.
I've heard you the first 10 times that you didn't agree.
Oh yeah,
your
talk.
Business. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like you can. Okay, let me give it a good example. Weird MC has come on the show many times before, and she was popular in the early 2000s for her secular quote-unquote music, and then she moved to the faith and stuff, and she's actually had a big conversation with us, gave us a lot of exclusive details on as to how she's converted and how she found Christ and everything like that, and it was beautiful. This is a secular TV program, and she had secular people that she still interacted with and spoke really highly of, but didn't take away from the fact that she is now very different from that. Personally speaking, I don't appreciate when people make a point and then make other people feel like, I don't know how to explain it. For me, it's like false humility. False humility looks like you're saying something very like humble and everything, but it's actually a stuck-up opinion, in my opinion. That's how I see it. Another example of someone I know that does this really well is Kanye West. Kanye West did this whole world music for a long time, and then when he found God, although he's a very stuck-up and full of himself kind of person, he's very honest and he brags about himself without bringing anybody down. I think that you can do it. It's very possible. For you to say that, you know, time has been wasted and then the devil and this and that. So like the other people that are there now are the devil now. I don't know, man. Just say your conviction, use your voice for the Lord and convict the people that you can convict and, you know, live your truth and everything. But I've always feel some type of way when people do that. It'd be unfair for me to sit here and say, oh my God, the way I live my life is so good and so great and everybody else isn't living a life like that. You know, you're of the devil, or like something bad is going to happen to you, or like you're less advantaged and you can't can't really see the future. Like, guy, calm down a bit. But away from that, I'm happy for her. I'm so proud that she's living her faith. I know from the very beginning, she was one of the first people. That was actually maybe the last year I lived in Nigeria. And I watched this show with her. I watched her entire Project Fame thing that she did, and it was from the very beginning that this girl has been screaming that she didn't want that life. Like, she came into that program as banter. Like, somebody even helped her set it up, and like, she was so overwhelmed that she didn't know people were going to love her. She didn't know she was going to be that big, and I think that's even what made people love her even more on that show. And even when she came out, you could see that she wasn't necessarily like enjoying herself entirely. Like, she wanted to leave the scene a lot of the times, and she was very intentional about the kind of music that she made. She didn't make music as a musician. She kind of made music that she really liked, if that makes sense. Like, when she's ready and when she feels convicted, she'll associate herself to somebody and sing the song she wants to sing. So I know that she did things in her own style and stuff. So her now saying that she wants to be Christian, for me, isn't like a really big shock. Like, maybe that's going to be a more comfortable place for her to really express herself. Like, when I saw the video on the blogs on Instagram, I'm not gonna lie, the first thing I noticed, because I've watched her from the beginning, was that I saw an enthusiasm that I haven't seen before. She's actually quite like, ooh, and Jesus, and this and that. Like, she never even used to do that. So maybe this, it really is her thing. And again, I'm happy for her. I would just have really liked, for anybody, it doesn't care. I don't really care what you are talking about. So just feel free to express yourself, but be sensitive to other people and just be a little nicer.
Okay, can I talk?
Absolutely.
I can speak.
Yes,
Are you
can.
sure?
Yes.
All right. Now, I like the fact that you said this person, and I dare to differ when you said Chidinma wasn't like that. Chidinma has always put a lot of passion in her craft. Now, this is somebody that I know personally, so I could definitely tell you that she has always put a passion. So whether she was doing Jesus, she had always put passion. When she was singing secular music, it was the same amount of energy that she put into it. Now, speaking of how other people,
I've not seen that one, Cha. As a viewer,
you're not fully Nigerian, so maybe it was when you left the country.
All the music videos I've seen of her, she was not that enthusiastic.
Anyways,
but go on.
Alrighty. Now, what I'm trying to say is, you're talking about how people express their faith when they find it. Now, if I go to
that's not what I said. I said whatever you express.
You said you have seen people that have found God and they did not say it.
And that's in general as well. If I say all of a sudden now I want to start eating,
can I speak, ma'am?
I want you to speak for me. If I say something else, that's wrong. If I say I want to be a vegan and I say, in fact, all these meat eaters, you people are going to die soon. That's what I'm saying. Anything that you want to express.
She never said anything like this. So don't speak for her too. I think you should rather read and digest everything she said so that you can totally understand it.
Just because you and I see things very differently doesn't mean I didn't do that. But go on.
Okay, so now what I'm trying to, so if you know we see things differently, can you let me talk from my own different point of view?
Sure.
Exactly. Now what I'm trying to tell you now is that this girl only said our words from the points that she found faith. If I find faith from a Cherubim and Seraphim church, I would say it differently. If I find it from a Baptist church, I would say it differently. If I find it from an MFM, Pentecostal, whatever, there are different denominations and there are different ways they go about it. Now, I have a church that my pastor is usually talking about relationship and personal growth. Okay. And I know churches that they talk about how to kill the demons and your spirit, generational curses, how to break them. Now, these are different ways of expressing. So if somebody finds faith, I don't think it is up to me and you to be questioning how somebody talks about.
How does denomination have to do with this conversation?
Well,
what denomination is she?
How am I to know?
But you're the one that
I don't think you're listening. Are you on this table?
You just gave denominations, MFM, whatever. That has an influence with how you communicate your faith.
Yes, and you were saying the way she said
it. What denomination is she, and how is she communicating her faith? You're the one that brought it up, so you don't know.
I don't know about our own denomination. I'm telling you that it is not up to me and you to be dictating to somebody how you express. If you like, see world people as bad people after you have found God, and it works for you, and God is content with your behavior and is happy with you. That is all she needs. And it is not for you to come on this table to be bashing somebody and be telling them, hey, I don't like anything. Oh, that's how she wants to put it. And that is why from the beginning of this story, all I said, good for her. I'm happy for her. That was all I said from the beginning.
Okay, so if you're going to all of a sudden say that I don't have the right to express who I'm uncomfortable with because it's a religious
That wasn't
topic.
what I said. That wasn't what I said.
Bro.
I said the
way you talk with five mouths is crazy.
It is not our place to be judging how somebody describes her faith or how she wants to
What, because
live.
it's faith? Is it because it's faith? I'm asking if it's a simple question. Is it because it's faith that we're not allowed to judge?
You know, you
because
said something in the last story that's just you trying to be difficult. I know that
that's what you do.
You know sometimes
you know that's what you do for a living, right? You sit here, we talk about people, we analyze what we feel, opinion-based, what we feel, and that's judging, sort of. So now that your tone is different, is it because we are talking about faith?
Well, it's a contributory factor because I'm from a house of faith and I have faith.
Okay.
Yes, so that's
all right. Well, for me, I'm so sorry with you and your faith.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's my, but that's why I said we all have personal opinions. That's what I said.
Again, I think you just want to be very difficult with this conversation
because
I have nothing against.
No, you don't sound like you have nothing against
the transition of her faith. I have nothing against it.
First, you were bashing her career from when she used to sing secular music, and now that she's in, Jesus.
Okay, how did I bash her? How did I bash her career? What did I say?
Sounds like you're joking about somebody else's craft.
Now? What did I say? How did I bash her career?
I just said it. Did you hear me at all?
Say again. I didn't hear.
No, sorry, I don't speak twice, man.
I said again that me watching from the very beginning, she had always said it with her own mouth that she didn't actually choose to be in the music scene. That she just wanted to, like, she did the whole projection thing for banter. And I'm saying, for my personal opinion, that watching her on the show, you know, I didn't see as much enthusiasm as I saw on Sunday. And I think it's also just the kind of art that there is. I think when you're talking about worshiping God, it's a lot closer and people get in their feelings and a lot more emotional. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're the one that wants to hear it the way you want to hear it. But maybe we should move on from this conversation. I think the fans would discuss how they have heard both our opinions. Discovery Plus has given a straight-to-series order to Confessions of a Crime Queen, a true crime anthology series from Curtis. Yes, surprisingly. 50 Cent Jackson and his G-Unit film and television banner. Rich By and his Goodbye Pictures and Lionsgate Television. Like, this guy is making moves, guys. Confession of a Crime Queen is described as a first-of-its-kind anthology series that brings to life riveting headline-making stories by combining documentaries and scripted genres. Can you imagine? Each season will focus on the true story of one larger-than-life woman who created and led a multi-million-dollar criminal empire before a dramatic fall from power. The subject will be portrayed by an A-list actress who will also interview the real-life female crime lord at the center of the story. Casting is underway for the first season, expected to debut next year. I don't know why next year, though. That's so far away.
Waiting for part 4 of... What's that one with Ghost?
Power,
yeah.
I'm very proud of him, to be honest. He's somebody that really confuses me so much because as a person, I like zero things about him. Zero. He's a bully, he's irrational, he's just very toxic and rude and just, I don't have anything nice to say about him. But when it comes to his work, really, like the product of his efforts, he does really well. He has an excellent spirit with those things. Power was a very life-changing series for the Black community. Not for the content in which the story is about, but like the strides that it made in the industry. Won a lot of awards. It kept getting renewals. The emphasis on standard and quality was never really like diminished or whatever. So like he shows that he takes these things really, really seriously. And he's another underdog in my opinion because he's too busy being so lousy that people don't really see what he's doing for the Black community in terms of like the entertainment space and creating content. Now for me, this is another big deal. Working with Disney Plus and, you know, getting that big bag and now producing content that is, you know, about crime. And, you know, I feel like, you know, yeah, maybe people might have done something like that. But for me, I always find it really special when that thing is then done by a Black person because we see life very differently. And there'll be things that we can analyze and you know, dive into that maybe another person can't see. It's the same thing for genders as well. A man can do something and when a woman does, it's very different because the perspectives are very different. Not that one is better than the other, but the diversity diversity and the in-depth analysis that it gives you is just really good. So I'm very eager for this particular documentary. I want to see what they're going to do with crime. I think it's a very fascinating part of like human existence, and I want to see what they do with it.
Yeah, so I think it's not even, first I want to address what you said. I don't think it's even allowed to even bring 50 cents and underdog in the same sentence. 50 cents is, I think everybody understands what it does for the black community. I think he's one of those guys that have put into the show business that you just know. Rather, I think 50 Cent is a motivation for a lot of black people, because this is someone that has never hidden the fact that he was a drug dealer. He has never hidden the fact that he was nobody. He came from the ghetto. He was shot 9 times. We all know that story. And this guy is where he is today. Talking about this character, yes, I may agree with you. But, you know, about this anthology that he's about to put into play, yes, I'm really looking forward to this one. Because at the end of the day, we all want to know the stories. You get, like you said, when a man does certain things, and especially when it comes to crime, you know, men are made to look like we are the crime lords. We are the ones. But a lot of women that are also crime bosses, like, for instance, the people that are married to criminals that got involved in the business at one time or the other. Now, those are the people that we also need to see their life, because this way, you know, there's a lot of lesson to be learned from it. You know, I can remember when I used to watch, is it Southside Queen or South Queen of the South or one of that? Yes, you can tell how that woman was into the whole crime game and how she did it, how she rose from this and how she fell. So the good thing is, you know, there's always a lesson to be learned. And I like the fact that every season we'll be talking about a different woman. Do you get? And then, you know, this would also help a lot of people who have written documentaries in the past, who have written scripts, who have written movies about certain women that were into crime before. This is an opportunity now for them to sell to 50 cents. This is an opportunity for them to cash out from this alone. So I think it's a beautiful idea, and I'm looking forward to it.
Alrighty, I guess that's how we wrap up the show then.
Yep.
Thank you so much for watching. Please join the conversation on social media with the hashtag #TeaTime or tweet at us at PlusTvAfrica. Remember that you can catch up on all of our previous episodes, including this one and all of our exclusive content, by subscribing to our YouTube channel, our new YouTube channel at PlusTvAfrica Lifestyle. We're going to give you everything lifestyle on this particular station, PlusTvAfrica, on that YouTube channel. So please go there and support. You can also watch Tea Time on R2 TV and in London on Ben Television.